The man heading the Department of Justice Weaponization Task Force has failed to weaponize a case against a now retired FBI agent who had sued Alex Jones over his lies about the Sandy Hook mass shooting. So now the DOJ had sent a letter a couple of days after Jones posted pictures of himself and prosecutor Ed Martin. Uh, and, this led Martin to have to be forced to walk back a recent threat to investigate that retired FBI agent named William Aldenberg. So Aldenberg had sued Alex Jones in 2022 for defamation and won. Okay. Now, he won alongside the families of 8 of the Sandy Hook victims. Okay. A Connecticut jury found Jones guilty and ordered him to pay over $1 billion in damages. In fact, currently, Alex Jones' show, his empire, is being broken apart and sold off, okay, in order to pay it. So now Aldenberg why was he involved in this case? Well, it turns out he was one of the first law enforcement officials to respond to that devastating mass shooting. He joined that lawsuit because Jones repeatedly claimed that the shooting was a false flag staged by the government, okay, and he was a government worker at the time, that this was staged so that the government can come in and take your guns. He called the victims fake. He called them crisis actors. None of that was true. Children were murdered in cold blood. And yet Jones made money off that, by the way, off of his conspiracy theories. And repeatedly calling them, these kids, they're not dead. They're crisis actors. That's it. That's the ticket. And now, please, buy my supplements. Buy my Penis Force Plus. Trust me, it'll be great. In the bedroom, you'll be the alpha male, true alpha male with Penis Force Plus. By the way, let's get back to the dead kids. I mean, that aren't actually dead. I mean, it's a sick individual, really sick individual. Now, Aldenberg, he was again the first witness to testify in the trial, the defamation suit, and he had gave emotional testimony about the victims that Jones claimed in his show weren't real. He then detailed how he and other law enforcement officers were harassed and threatened with violence from Jones's unhinged audience. In a recent letter, though, to Chris Mattei, Aldenberg's attorney, Ed Martin, questioned whether the agent had joined this lawsuit for his own personal benefit and suggested that if that is the case, well, then we're going to criminally prosecute you. Oh. As you know, he wrote, there are criminal laws protecting the citizens from actions by government employees who may be acting for personal benefit. I encourage you to review those and respond by September 29th. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep this correspondence confidential. I don't want to litigate this on social media. Well, you know who posted it? It wasn't Mattei. No, it was actually Alex Jones. In fact, he posted this with the caption, the DOJ's task force on government weaponization against the American people has launched an investigation into the Democrat Party, FBI directing illegal lawfare against Alex Jones and InfoWars. So, now after Jones posted that letter, Martin sent a follow-up letter to Mattei saying this, at this time I write to inform you that there is no investigation of you or your client. Because of this, I hereby withdraw my request for information from you or your former client. You know what I say to that?
Whoopsie.
Way to go, dummy. These people, they're clowns. They're beyond stupid. Why would you do that? The level of incompetence here cannot be overstated. These are the dumbest people alive in government. Okay? So stupid. Stupid. So stupid. I mean, you can't get dumber than that.
You idiot.
I mean, they were not only trying to do their own political weaponization, but then Jones publicly advertises it as political weaponization, of course. And so that led Martin to have to get ordered by the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, to rescind his letter. Like, idiot, you don't do that. You don't advertise that. What is Alex Jones doing? In a post on social media, Mattai said Martin's letter was Jones's latest attempt to try to harass Aldenberg and the families of the Sandy Hook victims, who, may I remind you, they lost their children and then were harassed for years by these unhinged conspiracy theorists led by Alex Jones, who was just simply profiting off this entire thing personally. Absolutely ridiculous. But no, he said Jones and Martin corruptly used the DOJ to harass Sandy Hook families and the heroic FBI agent who ran to the school to save any children he could. I called him out, and now the so-called inquiry has been withdrawn. This is a moment to stand up to bullying and lawless misconduct. So, look, Ed Martin, I don't think he gets called out enough for what he's doing, but he is actually one of the most nakedly political appointees that Donald Trump has put into any positions of power. I mean, it's just so clear what his role is to be. Okay, he's an attack dog. And by the way, there's a lot of people to choose from. Okay, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, all these people, right? But no, it's Ed Martin, okay, who was probably one of the worst. All right, he was put there for these, singular reason to weaponize the Justice Department against Donald Trump's opponents. That's it. That's why he's in this position. Okay. In addition to heading the weaponization task force, right? I know they claim that, oh no, we're investigating weaponization, right? No, you're doing the weaponization. Investigate yourselves. Not only that, though, is he leading that. He's also the U.S. pardon attorney. Oh, we're going to look into the Biden pardons, right? For, the January 6th committee and Hunter Biden. As if anybody gives a damn about Hunter Biden these days. Okay? No, nobody does. Nobody, except for the right wing. All right? But anyway, he's also been tapped by Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate the very thin mortgage fraud allegations against people like Letitia James, another Trump enemy. Okay? Another of his political opponents. And not only that, but Donald Trump's actually trying to put him in other positions, too. Earlier this year, Trump nominated him for U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. He didn't win that fight, though. He was forced to rescind that nomination after multiple Republican senators, were like, okay, no, we're not going to confirm this guy. Why? Because he defended the January 6th rioters, as well as his, actions as acting attorney. Turns out they're not exactly huge fans of the job that he's been doing. All that political weaponization that I talked about. Like I said, it's a total clown show. But what do you expect when you elect a circus? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.